All right, we'll shift gears now to a more serious story, and that is the U.S. stock market. You're looking right now, the New York Stock Exchange. Financial markets around the world are still reeling today following President Donald Trump's latest and most severe set of tariffs. The U.S. stock market is taking the worst of it by far. The S&P 500 was down 4% in midday trading, more than other major stock markets, and it, at its bottom in the morning, was on track for its worst day since COVID struck in 2020. That's coming from AP News. We want to bring in WCNC Charlotte reporter Myles Harris. Myles, this is a story that you're following as far as the reaction, the immediate impact following, and even the long-term impacts of this. So where are you at with the story?
Yeah, so we just talked to an expert literally within the last 15, 20 minutes or so, just trying to get, there's obviously a lot of questions surrounding what happened following yesterday, kind of leading into today, and just trying to figure out, okay, what does that mean for the value of my wallet, my dollar, my stocks, whatever the case may be, right? Mm-hmm. And for being honest here, after talking to an expert, it's probably not the best day to be in the stock market. It's not a good day to be an investor because look at the numbers that you just talked about. I mean, things are just they're not looking good. Mm-hmm. But it's not a chance or an opportunity for people to really panic and get out of the market, because one of the things that he mentioned wholeheartedly was it's easier to stay in the market than it is to get out and then try to get back in. So getting advice from experts, whether they're financial advisors, whether they're stock experts, trying to get some of that insight on what to do long term is really the biggest thing, the biggest piece of advice, because the first panic reaction with this whole thing is I gotta get out. Right, I got to get out. I'm losing money. I got to figure out what's going on. And so, trying to figure out exactly what stocks you're in, what's being hit the hardest, trying to figure out long term what your plan and goal is really some of the things that experts are trying to find the answers to, and also, consumers as well. We're trying to figure out what this impact looks like for us though too, because we see the numbers and we see them going in the direction that we don't like and love. What does that mean for us in daily living? And so, in talking with not just the stock market, but also looking into who's going to be hit the hardest. We talked to some of our coworkers, and they're kind of freaking out about this right now too. Yeah. They're in the age range or in the area of maybe near retirement, and they're kind of worried what's this mean for my retirement? And so for those that are on even fixed incomes that they're seniors as well, they're going to be hit pretty hard with this though too, especially if you're dependent in that area. So it's just really, really tricky and trying to figure out best solution to what changes are coming right now for us though.
Did he speak towards the fact of what if I'm 30 years, 20 years out from retirement? Should I be concerned right now? Did he speak towards that?
Not necessarily that. It's just more of what's interesting is like I said, okay, when do we start to see the impacts of these tariffs? Yeah. And he's like, well, interestingly enough, we've already been seeing them. We've already seen people either race to go and try to get new cars, try to beat the tariffs, and so we've already started to see that. But now again, I think the question remains of in the next couple of weeks, we should see more of an impact, whether it's changing in grocery prices, whether it's changing in pharmacy prices when you're going to get medicine or whatever the case may be. Seeing those things could be adjusted, but we won't see those right away. But it is interesting to kind of hear, okay, we've kind of already been dealing with some of the impacts of these tariffs before they even were implemented this week. Yeah. So especially in the auto and the insurance industry, those are the things that we're seeing the biggest impacts when it comes to the changes in prices and things like that. So it's just a very interesting, what's going to happen, trying to get these answers. And it, honestly, we talked about, who's going to be hit the hardest with this thing, man?
One of the things I like with the show is we get to pull back the curtain a little bit. Obviously, this is a story that you talk to your parents about, your friends about. In your personal life, have you spoke with your family about it, friends about it? What are they saying?
So I'll be honest, I'm not trying to out my mom. My mom is one of those people that are in that age range where she's looking at Social Security, she's looking at things like that, and so she's kind of this isn't really good right now, what's happening? And so directly more so with her, we've had those conversations. Obviously the conversation around recession, things like that have also come up in other conversations. Not really sure if we're in that range yet to talk with experts about it, but it's just, there's just still a lot of questions as far as the impact even from a short-term standpoint, beyond just today, but in the next couple of weeks, that we're kind of just bracing for and waiting to see what happens with it, man.
Yeah, a lot of talk. This obviously is the big story of the day. So Myles Harris, when does your story air today?
We're at 5 and 6.
5 and 6. You
Yeah.
can catch Myles Harris at 5 and 6. Again, a story that's happening nationally. Thank you, Myles, for stopping by the Live Impact.
Appreciate you,
Studio.
twin. I mean, we got the twin today, man.
A little bit. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be like you.
Appreciate you guys, man.
That's Myles Harris talking about tariffs, talking about U.S. stocks, things that are impacting you at home, family members, friends. Again, this is a story that's not just going to be a big story for today. It's going to be a big story for the immediate future and probably even longer than that.